Hey guys, welcome to the 15th multiplayer tutorial, and we'll be working on a level editor, similar to how I made it in my game. And in this editor, we'll be trying to make different objects, uh, teleporters that can teleport us to different maps. So we'll make it in this multiplayer game. Make a new layer and just show library. Duplicate this vcam, but actually name this vcam for game, and then duplicate vcam editor. So you can go ahead and drag this vcam over here, but of course we won't need all these things. We'll actually be using different things, so delete them individually without deleting the outlines for the vcam, so leave the outlines. And let's just make basic movements. So in the vcam, on click event, enter frame, if key dot is down, key dot left, then we want it to go left. So just duplicate the same thing for left, right, up and down. And change it to right, instead of minusing to plus. For up, y minus, and for down, y plus. And we also need on click event load. And in here we make the variable speed, and let's put it as 5 for now. Back to multiplayer game. This is the menu, so just carry that up and duplicate this by pressing Ctrl Shift and drag it downward. Release before taking off Ctrl and Shift, and we'll change this text to editor and make this instance of button editor button, and in the actions go to and stop editor D. We'll name it editor D because we'll need editing details, and we'll also need the editor itself. So editor, this will be the editor details. So we'll also need to make a frame for that. So make a new frame, give it the instance name of editor D, and this one with the vcam will be editor scene, so editor S. What I've realized is when we are in our game and we leave the vcam goes back to the menu screen slightly with an offset. So there are two things we can do, well, lots of things. One, we can go in the code and make it go back to reset its stage values, or we can add vcams on every different frame. So this will be the vcam for the editor, the vcam for the game, vcam game, and just duplicated one, no, cancel, duplicate vcam editor, I call it vcam frame. So on every frame of the game, just drag out vcam frame and align it to horizontal center and vertical center. Make sure that align to stage is tick. So add vcam here as well. Well, not on the chat, but we would need it on the editor details as well. So for now, just lock this everything layer. We'll be using code layer, although it's not really used for codes only, but in the editor details, a few things we would need is the name of map size. Then we also need the texture for the map, but we can edit that in the game itself, so we can leave that as it is. We'll need, well, for the map size, we'll check the x and y coordinates, and on the map editor we also need somewhere to load maps and somewhere to delete maps. So let's just make a box. I'm just making a box. That's decoration. Right, so up here So we need a map name, a width and height, and let's just duplicate this height over here. But in the properties, we'll change it from static text to input text, make it is anti-alias, use device fonts, and show border around text. For the height, we'll be using it in pixels, or if you want it to be more realistic, we can use it for every number they put here multiplied by 5, so you can have meters. So if they write 10, then the map size will be 50, which 50 meters, no, 10 meters, which would be 50 pixels long, or something like that. But we won't want a big number that will be, well, the bigger the map, the more it will lag on other computers. So we can make the max number to be 3 digits, so 999. So the max characters will be 3. And in instance name, we'll name it height underscore D for map height. So we'll name this map height, duplicate it above, name this map width, and the name let's make the name slightly longer, well, a lot longer. And we'll make this about 15, max characters will be 15 here, and the name will be map name. So let's just make a button to go back to menu. So just copy these two things here, paste. If we press Ctrl Shift and C, it will paste in place. No, Ctrl Shift and V. So copy it again, copy, Ctrl C, and go here and press Ctrl Shift V. So it will go back to menu since it already has the code to go back to menu. When we load this frame in the actions of code layer, we'll say root.mapName.text is equal to nothing, and same for map width and the map height. Then we may want to restrict it to using certain characters, so root.mapName.restrict to it will be only able to use letters, capital letters from A to Z, or common letters from A to Z, excluding space. No, just leave it as that. And the map width and height, we want to restrict these to only using letters from 0 to 9. Well, numbers actually. So it won't be using letters, it will actually be using numbers alone. So right now I'm going to test this, but logging in every time I test will take too long, so after we load here, I'll just say go to and stop menu. Let's just copy this, comment out the login, and change this to menu. so we won't have to log in. But of course, if you try to play the game, it won't look like this. So you need to log in for playing the game. But since we are only testing the map, we won't be we won't need to log in. So editor, it goes to the editor. Name, it can only type spaces, capital letters, and comma letters. It can't use numbers. And for the width, only numbers, and for the height as well, only numbers up to 3. One more thing. Let's see what will happen if we take out this space. So take out that space and it won't be able to use the space bar. Since saving maps actually take a lot of, well, when saving maps in Flash using shared objects, if we use spacebar, it won't save a map if we give it the name map space name. So what we could do in the game is every time there's space, make it replace with underscore, or make users use underscore instead of space. So instead of allowing the space bar, we'll just use A to Z and underscore. Okay, and style is black. That's all. Now that we have this information, we may want, well, let's make a button to go to the editor scene itself. So just copy this button and let's name it something like create map. Well, it doesn't really need an instance name, so on release we want to check if root dot map name is not map name dot text is not equal to nothing. Then go to and stop the menu. Well, you want to check for the width and height as well. So if the map name is not a blank and map width is not blank, as well as the map height, don't forget to put and, then go to and stop menu. Well, not menu, editor S, which is editor C. So if we try to go now, it won't work unless we enter some things here, but we have to make sure to enter it everywhere. And now we can go to the scene. Now that we have successfully gone to this editor, we want an object that will, well, let's just make a box. This will be the map, well, the terrain. Later on, we might be able to add images as our own terrain, textures, or probably change it to different colors using the same method that we did in the program tutorials. Let's make a program. But convert this box or symbol, right click, convert to symbol, and give it the name map. the map. Okay, properties, the map as well, and in the actions we want the map, its size to be the width and height that we stated here. So when we press this button, before going to this frame, we'll change some global variables that we have to define. So we can say underscore global dot name global dot the name will be equal to whatever this map text is, and global dot width is equal to whatever was the width, and the same with height. So in here on the code frame, we'll say, well, let's put stop first. Don't forget to put stop. And we'll say root dot the map dot underscore width is equal to global dot the width. Root dot the map dot underscore height is equal to global dot the height. And since, well, the method we are going to use for adding objects, we'll be using attach movie clip, and we don't want to attach anything outside here. If we attach anything to the left, well, this point of the map, this point right here is 0, x and y. So if we attach anything outside to the left of here, or above, or anywhere left and above, then it will be, well, every time I attach movie clips anywhere here, it does not be able to be removed, and it will messes up. So we want to use everything here and beyond. So we make this map, whatever the size of this map is, it will stretch over here, and we can put warnings such as do not add objects outside of the map, something like that. So we want to level up this map. So after we set the width and height, since his x and y positions is in the middle, so it will be easier if it's in the middle. So just say root dot the map dot x, his x position will be his width divided by 2, and that will be the same for his y. So root dot the map dot underscore y is equal to root dot map dot height divided by 2. So let's make it 200 by 200, and let's just give it a random name. And if we create the map, it's in this corner here, which this point is 0, but of course we can move around so we can be able to see the outsides of the map, and create a warning such as don't add objects outside the map. Also, let's click on this outline and make the stroke 0. It will automatically go to 0.1, so no matter what size this box is, the stroke won't get thicker. So also, if we make a map really big, like 500 by 500, it will align for itself. Let's just move this border entirely. So we've added a map and we want to add objects. But before we deal with objects, we need, of course, to make some more settings in our VCAM. So give our VCAM an instance name of camera, and since it's centered in the middle, we can also set its X and Y. So it will seem as if it appears in the middle of the map. So it's in the middle. May not have been noticeable from there, but it's in the middle instead of up in the top corner. So we can put this anywhere we want. It will still appear in the middle. And for objects now, let's begin drawing. Well, let's I'll draw the objects and come back to this in another video. So that's it for today. Well, that's it for now, because I'll be hopefully publishing the other video today. But for now, if you have any problems concerning anything like this, feel free to ask. One more thing before we leave, just take this menu button, copy this, and here go inside of our VCAM and put it inside here, so that no matter where the VCAM moves, we'll still see this menu button. And instead of just going to the menu, we want it to clear every object. So we can make a function root.clear objects, then set global.the name, which means the map name, to nothing, global.width to nothing, and global.height to nothing. Then we can go to menu. But there's not a function called clear objects yet, but we just have it there just in case. So when we move around, we can still see this, and we can click here to go back to the menu. But it change it from go to stop root that go to stop menu. So it goes back to the menu. One more thing, on the VCAM on clip event load, say this dot swap depths to a high number, so it will be above everything else. That's it for today, and I will see you next time. Bye. Don't forget to save.